high school football. So glad that you are with us. Take a look at another matchup. The Handley Judges season ends in Salem, falling to the Salem Spartans 31-28. As always, joining me, the head coach of the Handley Judges, Jake Smith. And coach, it was such a valiant effort by your team, late touchdown sealing the deal for Salem, but a lot of positives I would imagine you can take out of this game despite the playoff loss ending your season. What really stood out to you?
Obviously we were down Tristan heading into that game, and we had a week to prepare, for that. Unlike the previous week where we kind of make adjustments on the fly. I think offensive staff did a great job of developing a game plan, to take chances against Salem. And so we did a lot of different things that, they hadn't really seen yet. And I think Jack handled all of that stuff, very nicely from a mental perspective, and, also provide us some sparks in the run game. And so, really proud of their effort there. And then we lose this on in the second quarter. But, still able to manufacture another touchdown in the fourth quarter to take the lead. I think from that perspective, offensively, there's a lot of good things to take away from that. Defensively, I think our kids did a great job. We took the ball away a couple of times. They played really hard. Basically try to make Salem one-dimensional. And they were able to string a long drive together, late in the fourth and punch one in.
Yeah, so I mean, looking obviously down Tristan, but Jack Prosser stepping in, and it seems like you're not really skipping a beat, doing some pretty good things out there. I know he not the athleticism like Tristan, but he can still make some stuff happen, which worked well for this Handley Judges team. Just talk about his performance collectively and how that was like for the team.
Well, I think first and foremost, you got to manage all the personnel groupings that we had in this week. We had a bunch of them, four or so, and all the formations and things that go along with that. In addition to some of the newer things we were doing, from an offensive perspective, I think that was great being able to handle all that mentally, and then physically he carried the ball well when we asked him to. He made a huge throw late in the game, to Will Yoder to put us in scoring position, and so proud of his performance and what he was able to do out there.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously tough losing Hassan too, but how did you sort of keep the team in check? I know losing one of your key players in the game is tough to see, but still keeping it close with him being out. How did they sort of rally behind that and keep fighting up until the very end?
Hassan played a great game. He had 240 yards before he left, and he was really, doing his thing out there. Our offensive line was, paving the way for him. But once he was a no go. We got our kids together, and we have a lot of great players on our team. And they were able to pick some things up on the fly and step in critical moments. Specifically, JoJo scoring a touchdown as well, and then Jameer Washington coming in and taking some carries and scoring a touchdown as well. So, I thought they responded really well to it, and the kids continued to play really hard, all the way until the game was over.
I know a loss is not how you want your season to end, but if we look at this same time last year, not putting up a single point against Salem, taking this team to the wire, sort of that improvement from last year to this year, did you sort of look at that as a positive, despite the fact that you did not come out on the winning side again this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us on the west side of the state, if you're going to have a measuring stick of one of the best programs, arguably if not the best program in the state of Virginia in 4A, Salem High School, 10 state titles and 30 consecutive years or 10 wins or more. It just says a lot about the program and the culture and the things that they have built there. Being able to have that game in the position that we had it in, leading late in the fourth and giving up a score, I think, just speaks to, where our program has moved from in the last 2 years. And, really proud of the kids that they put in to make that happen.
So, as if we look just a little bit ahead, obviously season coming to a close, I would imagine a short break, but I know you and I know Handley football getting into the off-season training program is a big key to success as well. How do you just go about the off season ahead getting set for next season?
Yeah, essentially we try to give our kids 2 weeks of active rest, once the season's over and let their body recover and, things of that nature and enjoy the holiday, and Thanksgiving, with their families and when we come back at the beginning of December, we'll be back in the weight room starting our, winter conditioning and program and, we'll run that all the way through the start of next season.
And obviously, yeah, being if Tristan gets healthy, which I assume he would, but just the growth that he has shown, and I know unfortunately he wasn't able to finish out the season, but how does it feel to have him for 3 more years in the Handley football system? That must be huge that you're able to work and develop and help him grow as a quarterback for years to come.
Yeah, Tristan's a special player, and he's even more of a special kid, and so he'll bounce back. And I think he did a great job in his freshman year. Accounted for over 1,700 yards and almost 30 scores, and so he's able to do some really good things on the field. He learned how to be a leader and command an offense, and he plays with confidence and poise. Really excited to get with him this offseason and continue to develop and see how far he grows.
And just your thoughts on the seniors and the leadership the seniors brought to the team, and just your thoughts on them as they are exiting their last year into the program, and just your thoughts on the seniors and the leadership.
Yeah, I mean, I think our senior class, paved the way for us this year in a lot of different ways. On the field leadership, off the field leadership, leadership throughout the summer, and just continuing to show up and lead by example, but also help to push some of the younger guys along, that really needed it. And so they did it in the right way, and they worked really, really hard. And I can't say enough about the effort that they put out this season. Really proud of that group of kids.
Once again, the Handley Judges fall to Salem 31-28, ending their season in the first round of the playoffs. As always, joining me all season long, the head coach of the John Handley Judges, Jake Smith. And coach, appreciate the access and the time all season long. Really looking forward to catching up with you next year, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Yep, appreciate you having me.